Hey everyone, in this video I want to talk about the lessons I learned from making daily videos for a year. Since yesterday I talked about what qualities I believe helped me follow through on this journey, today I want to talk to you about what I learned on this journey. So tying in with yesterday's video, pretty much the most important thing I learned from this journey was just how powerful it is when you learn to make a commitment to yourself and keep it. Basically, where you get to that place where the thought of you letting yourself down hurts more than the thought of the whole world letting you down, because you just don't want to let yourself down if you know that that means you would lose respect and trust in yourself. And since you're going through your entire life in your own company, the thought of losing trust and respect for yourself should hurt a lot. You should not want that outcome. So that makes it so that when you make a commitment to yourself, you won't let yourself down. So you'll be able to follow through and accomplish awesome feats. But since I went really in depth into this concept in yesterday's video, I'm going to skip ahead to some other awesome lessons that I learned. So the first one that I learned pretty early is that people won't believe in you or take you seriously until you actually do something. So if you are telling people about the awesome goals you have and that sort of thing, if you haven't already accomplished similar things, most people probably won't believe in you or take you seriously that you'll actually be able to accomplish your goals. But this shouldn't matter, because all it means is that they don't believe in you because they don't have proof to believe in you. But what's important is you need to believe in yourself. When I started this journey a year ago, I knew I could follow through on it. I fully believed in myself, and that did actually lead to some people believing in me, the people who knew me very well, because they know that I'm the kind of person where if I set my mind on something, I'm going to follow through. But for people who didn't know me that well, for a lot of my Facebook acquaintances and that sort of thing, they doubted me. But I didn't care because I wasn't doing it for them. I was doing it for myself, and I was not going to let myself down. So you need to believe in yourself. You truly do, because when you embark on awesome journeys, you probably won't get as much support as you believe you will. And I, truth be told, didn't really. For the most part, thankfully, some of my family members were very supportive and some of my close friends. But other than that, there really weren't all that many people from my personal life, from my past, who were supportive of me. I actually got most of my support from some of you awesome people who have found me along this journey and have chosen to watch my content. You guys were the ones who were the most supportive out of everyone, which is really cool. But I understand that not every goal you have is going to put you around awesome people like my goal did for me. So in those cases, you really need to believe in yourself. It's just so important. I made a video a while back that actually performed horribly, and I wish it didn't, where I talked about how believing in yourself is a superpower, because I truly believe that it is. If you really believe in yourself to the point that you won't listen to the outside world when it doubts you, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to, because you're going to know that you have what it takes to accomplish that goal. So you'll actually put in the work and the effort to acquire the skills to be able to follow through on it. I mean, there are so many things in life where we have goals and we don't have the skill set necessary to accomplish it. And because of that, a lot of people give up on that goal. But they shouldn't. They should believe in themselves enough to know that they can acquire the skills necessary to accomplish the goal. If you don't know how to get from point A to point B, don't get rid of the goal of getting to point B. Just figure it out along the way. Start taking action when you're at point A and figure out a way of meandering through life to get to point B. But don't give up on your goal just because you don't have the necessary skills yet. Believe in yourself to get yourself there. Ugh, it's important, it really is. I would not have been able to do this journey if I did not believe in myself. And just learning how many people doubted me, it fueled me. So that's another helpful thing. If you're finding that people aren't believing in you and they're not taking you seriously with your goals, let their doubt fuel you. Think of proving them wrong. But at the same time, don't let that be your main motivation, because that's external motivation. You always want to be basically proving things to yourself and believing in yourself and getting that internal motivation, because that's what will help you get through all the tough days. So Anyway, it's just really important that you believe in yourself and support yourself and cheer for yourself along the journey. But now, on to the next thing. Another really important thing I learned is that you should do things when you're working towards your goals. You should still keep taking action on those days when you don't feel like it. So, in my case, I made daily videos for a full year. So, of course, there were days where I did not feel like making a daily video and I wanted to go outside instead or go for a hike, or on work days, I just wanted to, chill and not do anything. But I made that commitment to myself to make these videos. So, on the days where I didn't feel like it, I still made videos. I didn't quite force myself. I wouldn't say you should do that, but you should more think about why you started the journey towards whatever goal you have, and think that you aren't going to be able to get to that goal unless you actually take action on those days where you don't feel like it. They're pretty much the most important days. Ask any bodybuilder or anyone who goes to the gym consistently, and they'll tell you the days where you don't feel like working out are actually the days where you should, by all means, work out. They're the days that you should not take off. Because if you take those days off, you're basically training yourself to be soft, to be weak. It's true. I hate to say it, but it is true. You're training yourself to be weak if you decide to actually give in on those days where you don't feel like it. Because that's just you giving into fleeting emotions. All of us are going to have days where we don't feel like following through on our goals. But if you actually take those days off, you're basically giving yourself a way out whenever things get hard. And that is not what successful people do. That is not what high quality and the best people do in life. They are willing to keep pushing through even when it feels tough, even when they have those temporary emotions where they just don't feel like it. You have to realize that those days and those emotions are temporary. So if you give up because of them, you're basically making permanent decisions off of temporary emotions. So don't do that. It's a big mistake. Push through even when you don't feel like it. It really helps, gets you so much closer to your goals, and it makes you tenacious, and it makes you diligent, and those things are really helpful for getting far in life. Anyway, on to the next one. Another thing that I learned that was really important is the importance of celebrating tiny victories along the way. So a lot of us have long-term goals, or at least you should, because that's how you stay motivated in life. But when you have a long-term goal, you feel like you're only going to be fully accomplished when you actually achieve the goal, right? So that means you're going to wait until the very end to celebrate. Don't do that. That's a big mistake. Instead, set kind of sub-goals along the way. Divide your main goal into all these tinier goals. And when you accomplish those tinier goals along the way, celebrate them. It's a great motivator. I did that with these videos. I remember when I got to a month, the very first month of making daily videos, I celebrated that because it was cool. I made them for a month. And then the next milestone I celebrated was 90 days because I knew 90 days is pretty much, at that point, you've completely solidified a habit, and now it's going to be hard for you to stop doing that thing that you're trying to do. And then I celebrated 100 days because that was triple digits and I thought it was cool. And after that I celebrated 200, then 300, and then of course 365. So break up your big goal into smaller goals and then celebrate them. Reward yourself for the hard work you're putting in. Don't just reward yourself at the very end. That will lead to burnout, because then you're never basically giving yourself this validation for what you've already done. You're not cheering for yourself. So celebrate the tiny victories for big goals. It helps keep you going. It's one of the foundations of staying motivated. So that's another huge lesson I learned. And then the fourth one is kind of an interesting one that I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me. I learned just how short 365 days truly is. A year really isn't all that long. It really isn't. And you need to realize that, because a lot of us tend to take time for granted. So I can tell you this last year feels like it just blew on by. Like I can remember certain milestones, like I can remember the video I made for day 100 and that sort of thing. But just in between, there are days that I just they're like a haze. Like I can't fully remember them. So time flies, guys. You need to make the most of it. So when you're working towards your goals and dreams, just make sure that you're actually being productive as much as possible. I wouldn't say all the time because, yeah, you don't want to burn out, but you definitely want to make sure you're making good progress over time because years are just not nearly as long as we believe they are. Time goes by so incredibly fast, so you really need to be making the most of it because your life is made up of every single year. And we just went through one very quickly. You realize that's 1 year of your life. I'm 27, that's very young, but that means I've already made it through 27 years, and last year just flew by. So it's important that you actually plan ahead and make sure you're working towards the life that you want to create because you never know how much time you're going to get. So always make the most of it. But anyway, I figured I'd finish this video with some bonus content, which is I kind of want to give you guys a little background of what it was like making these daily videos, what I did. So for the most part, I started off this journey just using my phone. Literally, actually, that's what I've filmed on this whole entire journey. I've always used my phone. I actually upgraded my phone a few months ago. I got a Google Pixel when originally I was using a cheap Motorola one. That's why the video quality wasn't great for my earlier videos. But I basically started this journey with almost nothing because I knew the important thing was just to get started. And if I kept making excuses about waiting for a tripod or a microphone, I would never get started. So I started this journey with literally my phone. No mic, no tripod, nothing. Just my phone. And then over time, I invested in an awesome tripod I've been using and a microphone. I actually upgraded microphones midway through as well to a higher quality one and that sort of thing. But beyond that, a funny thing here is I've actually winged every single video I've made. I don't make scripts. The most that I'll do is I'll make a little note card like I did here of kind of bullet points to touch on. But that's it. I don't actually make scripts. I'm not reading line per line or anything like that. So there have actually been times where it's taken me like more than half an hour to film a video because I keep messing up and I have to get things right in one go because I don't edit these videos either. That's another thing I don't do. Basically, I've tried to make it as easy as possible for me to make these videos, and that means being simplistic. No script, no editing, that sort of thing. So it's just always been me and my camera and everything I have up here, and that's what I've tried to share with you guys. So yeah, that's just a bit of insight into what I've done with these videos, how I've made them, and how simplistic they are. And hey, there's another tip right there, guys. Just get started. Don't wait for the perfect moment because there won't be one. You will never feel ready. So just get started. Don't worry about having the most advanced equipment or any of that stuff, or even having the skills you need to finish your journey. Just get started and learn as you go. Acquire the skills that you need, acquire the equipment that you need. Just get started on your goals. Anyway, I truly hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!